Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Xiaolin 117 and I'm doing another video for action cartoons. Oh boy. Now this is one of those videos I actually kind of wanted to talk about because this is a topic a lot of people might not enjoy, but I wanted to talk about it. I originally wanted to do a top 10, my top 10 personal favorite action cartoons video, but unfortunately I wanted to do something special with the video. I wanted to add some clips, some episodes, you know, dialogue. Of course, if that video doesn't get copyrighted, of course, because I promised that if my video about my thoughts about action cartoons and their decline will do well on, you know, with the like ratio, with views and stuff like that, then I might do a video of top 10 action cartoons video. But unfortunately, I will not be doing it because this time I will actually try to save money for a good microphone, for fraps and maybe a recording device or something like that, because I want to improve my channel, I want to improve my videos, but this time I will try to do just like that. So anyways, this is the most underrated action cartoons video, and I wanted to talk about these shows individually, and I want to say what I think about these shows and what people are missing out on, because I feel like some of these shows are ended too soon or haven't been shown for a really long time. So let's begin. One of the shows is Generator Rex. Now, Generator Rex is one of my absolute favorite Cartoon Network shows of all time. The show originally aired in 2011 and was made by Man of Action. The show unfortunately was cancelled or ended. I don't know the right phrase for it. I think it was cancelled, and it was cancelled in 2013 because the show had good ratings, but unfortunately the way how Cartoon Network handled the show, like most of action cartoons like Thundercats 2011 and Symbionic Titan, they barely aired the show and gave the show for scheduling. But I remember I originally saw the show on TV, and the very first episode basically got me hooked on the show. The show had really great animation, it had really great action, it had really like great characters, it had great drama, it had great basically everything. One of the most amazing things about the show is that the show was made by the same people who did the original Ben 10 series in 2005. And they even made a crossover episode with Ben 10 from the Ultimate Alien TV series. This was back then when action cartoons had good writing, good action and everything. And with Generator Rex, they did not pull any punches. What the story about Generator Rex is the fact it is about a 15-year-old amnesiac called Rex Salazar, who lives in a world where everything is basically infected by nanoscopic machines called nanites that infect the entire human host and turn every living human being or any living creature or any kind to turn into a giant monster or something like that, or a mutant or whatever you want to call it, called evils. And this is what I really liked about the show, is that it actually shows the possibilities if that kind of thing actually happens for real. It actually perfectly shows how people would react in situations like this, and a lot of cartoon shows don't do that nowadays. Generator Rex basically inspired me to have the kind of similar powers with Rex that has with my own action cartoon superhero, but I will talk about it later. Anyways, let's try to move on. Next show is Xiaolin Showdown. Now, this is one of those shows I feel like a lot of people more remembered, and I feel like people might have forgotten about the show since, you know, today's generation and whatnot. So, Xiaolin Showdown was a kids show that originally aired on Kids WB, I think, and also aired on Cartoon Network as well. The show had really good following. The show was surprisingly dark the more the show moved on with the story. Like, Jesus Christ, like I actually didn't mind how dark the show went on, because it had brilliant writing, it had brilliant action, it was basically like the show was the Avatar, the Last Airbender before Avatar, the Last Airbender, because it uses the same like kind of elements that the Last Airbender uses. The main characters use like water, air, earth, and fire, basically like that. And the show, what I liked about the show, that the main characters going on these crazy adventures to get these mystic magical items called Shengan Wu, and when two people touch them, they go in a Shaolin battles, and with the Shaolin battles, they use these creative arts to make these kind of weird worlds where they go in these weird competitions to get the specific Shengan Wu they need to get. And what I liked about Xiaolin Showdown, especially, are the villains. Like, the villains are. Tell me a single person that does not remember Jack Spicer. I feel like Jack Spicer is one of those villains that needs his own spin-off show. The show is just, oh man. But unfortunately, the show ended. I think it ended on a cliffhanger. But. Or was cancelled. I do not know the specifics with the show, especially with this one, because just like with Generator Rex, I feel like Generator Rex was more cancelled, but with Xiaolin Showdown, it remains, like with Teen Titans from 2003, it remains a mystery what exactly happened to the show. You know, we don't know we don't know why Teen Titans was cancelled, and with Xiaolin Showdown, we don't know if it ended or it was cancelled. I do not know the specifics for it, but the show was really brilliant. Unfortunately, the show had a sequel, and a very disappointing sequel that nobody even asked for, and it was called Xiaolin Chronicles. Oh boy, they really ruined Xiaolin Showdown with Xiaolin Chronicles. Like, what the hell happened? Like, what really happened with the show? Like, you know, the show was comedic, but I feel like with Xiaolin Chronicles, I think they went way too far with the stupid CG animation that it looks worse than CG animation than Code Lyoko, and I will get to that later, but what really happened? I feel like I think Disney bought the property of Xiaolin Showdown, and it basically ruined what made Xiaolin Showdown such a great show, and I feel like I'm really disappointed in Disney how they ruined a really classic and really well remembered show, especially an action cartoon that other people really enjoyed watching as they were young kids. But anyways, let's move on. Next up is Jackie Chan Adventures. Jackie Chan Adventures. Goddamn, the nostalgia is just killing me. This show was my childhood, guys. This is one of those shows that basically did the celebrity live action character person and make him into a cartoon the right way possible. Basically, what the show is about is basically Jackie Chan going on these crazy adventures who travels around the world to collect these mystical items like talismans, Oni masks, anything like that. And he also fights demons, magical monsters, whatnot. This show had really great action. Like, basically, he had like the way they animated Jackie Chan's fighting style was just brilliant. Like, this is really brilliant. When I was young, I really wanted these talismans, these 12 zodiac type of talismans, Chinese zodiacs. Each talisman has like unique superpowers, and I wanted hold some of these powers, like the power of speed, the power of invisibility, the power of like freaking like super strength. Like, this is like the coolest thing ever. Like, I like how each talisman has like unique power that does not make the show dull. Like, I really like the concept of the show, and I feel like, and I really like what I really liked about the show as well, that every time in each end of every episode they have like a documentary with actual Jackie Chan, the actor of these movies, and he actually talks about and in each episode they ask what Jackie thinks, ask him types of a lot of questions, and he answers them. And I really thought that was a brilliant idea on their part. I feel like since season 5, I feel like the show kind of declined. I think they ran out of ideas with the show, but still the show is really amazing. The ending theme, especially for season 1. Like Jesus Christ, like this is like the coolest theme I ever heard. You can even hear it in the background when I talk in this episode. I hope that YouTube does not copyright this video, because I really want to add some music for each show so the video doesn't get dull. But you know what I mean. This show was really amazing, and he had other really great characters like Jade, who acts like a tomboyish kid, Jackie's uncle, who basically, whose line basically, one more thing, like is basically his entire character like this. But he was also a really cool character, and the villains are really also very creative, especially with the demons. Shendo was one of my favorite villains of the show. He was like this big giant mystery for the entire first season. Like, who is Shendu? How he became a statue? And I really like how they explained how he became a statue, why he needs these talismans. And I really liked the direction the show went on with the different storylines, with different adventures. I really like that with Jackie Chan Adventures. And I feel like it was one of the most underrated shows, and I feel like it doesn't have a proper DVD release, and it's a damn shame, because Jackie Chan Adventures is one of those shows like Generator X, and in Generator X, I feel like deserve proper DVD releases, and I feel like it's just a shame that it doesn't have a DVD release for such an amazing show, so everyone else in the future can experience a show like this. Anyways, let's move on. Next up is Tron Uprising. Tron Uprising is a show that is really barely talked about. It only aired, like Spider-Man Unlimited and even Spider-Man the new animated series is one of those shows that only lasted like one season, and then boom, it was cancelled during a cliffhanger. Like, what is happening with Disney? Like, why they hate, like, it's like Disney, Nickelodeon, and even Cartoon Network hate, like, these big studios hate action cartoons for whatever reason, because I feel like they're behind times, and they don't understand that the kids don't care about toys anymore. They care about more like smartphones, iPads, whatever. Like, this is one of my reasons that pisses me off, that a lot of these action cartoons are getting cancelled, especially when they only air one season. Why do you do this? Why do you hurt my soul? Like, I'm sorry about getting emotional with this, but seriously, it really pisses me off. But Tron Uprising is basically, I feel like I don't know the premise of Tron as a series itself, like the lore of itself, but I feel like Tron Uprising was basically a Tron Legacy continuation. I feel like the movie's continuation, like a sequel. But Tron Uprising was really dark. It had really interesting animation. It uses CG animation, but it also feels like a traditional art at the same time. It had really high stakes. It had really interesting characters. The character of Tron was really mysterious, and in the show it says that Tron is like this big legendary hero, but no one has ever seen him, and no one knows who he really was, or what really happened to him. But when the show progressed on, you learn more what happened with the original Tron, the original hero that we had. I do apologize if my camera is a bit stuttery because I closed the blinds because the sun is way too shining on my face. But with Tron Uprising, I feel like it's one of those real underrated shows. The villains, god damn, I really miss when villains are really trending. Like I think one of the villains was one of the villain names was Kane. I feel like he has this long robotic stretchy arm, but he was so menacing. Like this guy looked like one of those characters you don't want to mess with it. He's like, if he wants to kill you, he will go out of his way to kill you, and he will send people that will try to kill you. And Jesus Christ, this show was really dark, and I really like it. Like, even in this show, when people die, they actually die, and you don't see that in a lot of shows, especially in action cartoons like Batman Beyond, January Rex. Even I feel like even in Symbiotic Titan, people actually die. They don't magically come back to life or whatever. They die. They kapoof. They are gone. And I feel like I really miss the times when action cartoons have the guts to actually show actual death of characters. Because I feel like death of a character is like giving these big heroes this giant impact. Like, they can't save everyone. They need to try harder. They need to do better. And I feel like this is what action cartoons give motivation to children. They need to try harder when life throws bullshit at you. And I feel like a lot of cartoon shows don't do that nowadays, which is a damn shame. But still, I'm getting off topic here a bit. Anyways, let's move on. Another underrated cartoon show is Motor City. Motor City. What the hell happened? If you guys don't know, Motor City was an action cartoon that was made by the same person who did one of my favorite action cartoons that aired on Cartoon Network, was called Megas XLR. And Motor City, it's like the way the show was advertised by Disney. I don't know what the hell are they smoking, canceling the show, and even the way they advertise the show. Like, I really liked Motor City, the lore, the story the show had, and I feel like they basically saw the show, basically dropped the idea, and basically left in the dust. Like, this is one of those shows that has never been talked about. Like, I feel like I don't know any person who remembered Motor City. Like, the Motor City is one of those shows that I feel like needs to be talked more about, needs to be seen by a lot of people. I don't know if Motor City has a DVD release. I don't think it has, but I feel like Motor City has like a really interesting show. It has an really interesting premise. Basically, there's this city called Motor City. Well, that is being protected by resistance that uses these cool cars as weapons, and want to show people they have fun. They want to live normal lives. But then the upper city, I don't know, the city of Kane, I think it was called, is ruled by Kane, who hates fun, who hates cars, especially for whatever reason. He wants to make the future like this dull, boring place that people have no fun in and don't want to live normal lives anymore. And this is basically like a good comparison to the real world, like nowadays. And it's really, I really miss shows like this. And Motor City is one of those shows that feel like is really underrated, and I highly suggest you guys check it out. Another action cartoon, underrated action cartoon that was also made by Disney is Randy Cunningham, the 9th Grade Ninja. The Randy Cunningham 9th Grade Ninja was actually made by the same person who did Invader Zim. I think the art direction was the same as the Invader Zims. I don't know if John was Haskes. I think that was the creator's name of Invader Zim, who was called like that. Also, I don't think he was the person who was behind the Randy Cunningham 9th Grade Ninja, but I feel like it is also one of those shows that is fully underrated and isn't talked much about, because Randy Cunningham is one of those shows that is on the same level as Danny Phantom that is made by Butch Hartman, and also Jake Long, the American Dragon. And Randy Cunningham is one of those shows that has a really pretty funny humor, some ways than others, but it also had really great action that even could rival the action of Samurai Jack. And I really liked the animation style, I really liked the action, I really liked the humor in some cases. And the show never failed to entertain me, but unfortunately the show aired in 2 seasons and it was cancelled and it was never seen again. I feel like there was a planned 3rd season, but it was never come to the better light in today's day and age. But I feel like this is one of those underrated shows that has never seen the light of day. And if you guys want to check it out, then I highly suggest watching it on the streaming set if you want to check the show out. But yeah, so my throat is hurting a bit, my camera is getting more slower, my face is getting slower, but that is as far as I can go. If you guys want me to mention more underrated shows, I will be really happy to do so. Then yeah, tell me what you guys think about these shows. Have you seen them, and what do you think about them? I feel like because of declining of action cartoons, I feel like we don't get many action cartoons, and I feel like I wanted to talk about action cartoons that haven't been recognized that much. And I feel like I'm one of those people. I feel like those shows are pretty decent or really good that are not talked about anymore, or haven't seen much of them anymore. But I feel like this is the one part, because I don't want to drag this video for too long. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed this video, and share this video with others. To support this video, if you want me to do, let me know in comments if you want me to do another part of this type of video and type of discussion. And subscribe if you guys to support my channel even more. And I will see you guys later, or whatever.